actually hits this level 6, because he needs these 2 creeps. Of course, there's 0 way for him to know that, but this isn't actually going to succeed, because he's about to hit 6 off of these 2.
Yeah, so Resolution is good now. FY, knowing that, will now return back to the bottom lane, where they may still be able to find an opening against that Ember Spirit.
Yeah, I think this is the correct play, just to apply as much pressure as you can to Silent, and this is the strength of Undying as a hero, because you can pretty much put him with any support, and you can contest. And Ember's already a hero that doesn't really have the best stats, so this might actually mean Silent's going to go down again. He has no idea about the invis. Tombstone's dropped too.
Oh, they're going to be able to catch him. The kinetic field trying to give Silent enough room. The zombies are still chasing him down. Good shot, Grave from Always Want to Fly, and Silent will survive as he gets both health potioned and a nice little heal out. They're quick to be able to stop Super. He tries to take advantage of that low HP hero by immediately rupturing up Resolution. Resolution just runs himself away, and Ball Lightnings as well. Bottom lane, the action, yep, they're going to be able to get the glimpse back on FY. They immediately try and target him. Ice, knowing that he doesn't have a tombstone, is not going to be able to really threaten the supports that much. Well, he gets one, and maybe he'll get a second one. Always Want to Fly. He's going to be dove down into Decay, gets it. Double kill for Ice, and now Super's here as well. He doesn't have a Rupture. Silent does not have a Remnant either, as he's only level 4, but it seems the chains was enough to stop Super's aggression.
This is pretty sick by Empire as well. If you notice that both of their supports carried around salves, like everyone's carrying around salves, so that the Bloodseeker doesn't just run at them at supersonic speed, and it's a pretty good play, but Fenrir might be in trouble here if Resolution decides to go on this, and yeah, he's charged.
There is no way he gets away from this one with both Resolution and Yoki right there, and Fenrir, no help really around whatsoever. So a free pick off for them, 5-5. Very even game number 2 so far anyway. Is any team really picking up an advantage outside of the kills? It seems Vici Gaming, slight one in both experience and gold. Where's that really coming from? Is it just it seems to be the Undying. The big change-up factor is the Spirit Breaker Dazzle can't put the same kind of pressure on Silent to slow him down. As you can see, already the pressure is there as Silent is now dealing with Tombstone and double slows out from the Winter Wyvern. Again, zombies trying to chase him down. They need to heal desperately, but Always Want to Fly. Just a bit too late on that TP. And now Aloha Dance, the one who needs some trouble, but Ice has overextended himself. Dies as he dives into that Tier 1 tower, and Aloha Dance will be okay. Health potions up, and the Bloodseeker is not on his way this time around.
Yeah, he had 700 move speed at one point, and so you're definitely seeing why they opted to go for the salves, but at the same time, Super's still heading down here, and one hit will pretty much drag them into red territory, and he should go at around more than haste, and so FY is going to... doesn't have the mana for this, but they can definitely dive if they want to.
Oh, they're very stuck. That Silent's going to be able to hit Aloha Dance in the background. Always Want to Fly is dropped low. There is the charge out. Yoki's actually been ruptured up. He doesn't seem to care, though. He completes his charge against FY, but now he's going to pay for it. He's surrounded by 3 different heroes. Good Shadow Wave, but that's not going to be anywhere near enough. Vici Gaming pick up yet another kill. The Resolution was on his way, but he realizes that without the Spirit Breaker, they can't really force this fight, nor should they anyway. It's up against an Undying. That hero is notorious for being able to win 10-minute fights.
Yeah, there's actually no reason for him to go down there, because at the same time, he doesn't have enough mana. He actually varies himself a Clarity, which I'm a pretty big fan of, because you don't want to have to Bottle Crow at this phase of the game, but you also want to be able to participate in fights.
Man, they do not stop trying to shut down Silent. He is just wanting to pick up his level 6. He's just like Stormstreet in that regard, in that before he picks up level 6, he's very susceptible to ganks, and Vici Gaming are putting all the pressure on him, and Empire aren't even getting a good trade-off. Like, Vici Gaming are 5-manning down this bottom lane, but because the Resolution keeps on hesitating between bouncing back and forth between bottom lane and middle, he's not actually free farming up the middle lane, and nobody is farming up that top lane. So Vici Gaming are getting free kills and a free tower with no trade-off, seemingly.
If Resolution had just farmed during that entire time, he would have been about 450 gold more in net worth than everybody else, and that would have been worth it. But this ward alone just ruined them, and that ward actually spotted the ward going down for them, so they're probably going to grab a sentry. I'd imagine it's flying in on the courier, yes. And so this ward has served 2 functions. It stopped 2 ganks from Resolution, because as soon as he started moving down, they went away. They have to have some knowledge that it's there, and they're going to get the D-ward off of this. So now they've just lost complete control of their jungle, and they've lost their carry multiple times. And so now Resolution, a lot comes down to him. He actually has to have a phenomenal game, because the rest of his lanes just haven't succeeded enough. There's just been a little bit too much pressure from this Undying.
Bounty Rune, and it seems Resolution is going to try and use that bottle refill to shut down Hao here in this top lane. He TP'd up to try and farm, but he knows that there's a good chance that he can very easily be soloed out between the Spirit Breaker having his level 6 and Storm Spirit being missing from that middle lane. The rest of VG Gaming are actually now coming to counter any potential aggression against Hao, but it seems Empire not going to be taking the bait. Two of their heroes have already run back.
Yeah, they should just get out because nobody's at bottom. This ward alone keeps Silent feeling relatively safe. The mid gank is kind of pointless, right? Because nobody showed themselves mid. So it's just a process of elimination where they just assume that they have to be at that top lane, especially since Hao's been pushing out this wave. And now that all 4 members are going to show themselves, I think the correct move is Resolution goes mid, Silent splits up bottom as much as they can, and then just farm out the jungle as often as you can. Like if I'm Resolution here, put as much pressure as I can mid, wait for the TPs to come, and then just rotate to the jungle.
Already a TP is coming in, though, from the Winter Wyvern, so it seems like VG Gaming are actually going to defend this Tier 1 tower and take the top one at the same time. As FY, especially over this copse of trees, is going to be able to get in a position for really early Winter's Curse to set things up. But he's actually just trying to throw things down. Now goes for the Winter's Curse. Resolution held in, and Silence gets laid down. A tombstone is unable to be dropped. Aloha Dance is going to start running himself back. Fenrir's the target of Yoki's aggression as he charges straight forward. Now pops the ultimate, trying to go and lock down Super. As Resolution comes forward, they're trying to get the last bit of damage on Super, who's super fast, and he will be able to get away from Empire as the low HP heroes give him enough move. Oh, Silent even came in for a remnant, but not able to get it. It's on the side. Hao makes his introduction, able to get at least the Spirit Breaker. Always want to fly. Very smart. Shallow Grave and TPL.
Yeah, not a bad trade, actually, because they don't lose too much off of that. I think they killed Fenrir, and they traded out Yoki, but he's not that integral to this game. It's more important that Silent just catches up in whatever way he can, because he's sitting at a pretty abysmal 36 CS. He's got 3 deaths. You can't really blame him, though, because of the type of lane that he was against. And things are looking pretty bad for Empire, but Resolution still has the highest net worth in the game, which is pretty reassuring. And at the same time, one of the high net worths on the enemy team is Ice 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 playing this Undying, and so you're not too worried about it. Because remember when Vega had the overfarmed Undying? Like, the net worth doesn't translate as well as other heroes.
Sure. Undying is going to go for that added utility, which is pretty usual for an Undying. He picks up not only the Arcane Boots, but will be going for the mech. Inevitable Guardian Greaves, but usually you have some couple other items picked up before you complete the set. FY, he's got himself that Soul Ring coming in, so a lot of spam is going to be heading the way. And this is one of the things I really love about the Winter Wyvern. You're going to see that Empire, they're presumably going to be staying away from a lot of 5 versus 5 team fights, right? More focus on split pushing and trying to go for pickoffs. This means that Winter Wyvern, he can potentially sit so far back when they go for the split push, and his team is pushing down, 4-manning a tower, and there's no contest from Team Empire. He can actually go back and pseudo-defend some of that split pushing by sitting in the back and spamming out Splinter Blast.
Yeah, you're actually seeing that happen right now as FI rotates to this bottom lane, and it looks like with Hao there, they want to try to go on Silent, but they don't actually know that Aloha Dance is here prepared with his ultimate, and so things might be a little bit tricky here, but I mean, I'm just a little bit worried right now because Empire aren't going to have a lot of map presence because Resolution's opting to go for the Bloodstone, which is really common. You don't really have a lot of farm on your Ember Spirit, and that means if you have 2 cores that are essentially not providing anything for you in fights, you kind of have to avoid, and it means that the supports especially are going to get super underfarmed. Like, just look at the difference. FY is able to just kind of walk into lanes, throw out the Splinter Blast to farm, and he doesn't feel worried at all because he knows that Silent and Resolution are playing the catch-up game. And the reason for that is, once you're behind as a core, you've got one of 2 options. You either go for the safe farm or you try to all-in to get a kill. And how often do you see a professional team just all-in to try to get a kill to catch somebody back into the game? Mm-hmm. It's just too chancy.
Team Empire. Silent's just playing so passively, and it's because he has to. I mean, VG Gamer have already showed that they're willing to be super aggressive in shutting down the Ember Spirit. In fact, VG Gaming are now just taking the jungle away from the Ember Spirit. Not even that is an option, as Tombstone being laid out by Ice 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 to farm that away. Empire is still getting a better deal out of the current farm route, though. as they're pushing in both middle and top lane, while Vici Gaming kind of four-manning in the enemy jungle and not much else.
Yeah, and this is what, if you're Empire, and especially if you're Resolution, you want this to happen right now. Because Vici does have control of your jungle, but at the same time, they're not taking objectives very quickly. And so usually the trade-off is, as a Stormsphere player, you farm out as much as you can, and then you wait for that one big fight once you have Bloodstone, and then everything changes, right? But when that typically happens, you're usually behind a lot of objectives, so it's really worrisome. But Vici, in their haste to try to clear out the jungle, split up the farm, they're not actually pressuring anything. And so they actually have to get around the map and try to do something. And they might go for this mid tower, but again, they're simply trading one for one. And if you're a team that potentially has the better late game, like Empire does, then you want this to happen. Like, Resolution's going to get a free tower out of it, and now he's only 11, or actually he's quite a bit away off. He's like 2k off of his Bloodstone. You're kind of okay with that type of trade.
Vici Gaming are well set up to be able to catch anybody who tries to TP to defend the middle tower, but I feel like it's very obvious what Vici Gaming are doing here. I mean, Team Empire is still four-manning up in that top lane because they know Vici Gaming have been spending all their time in the jungle, even if the smoke may come as a surprise to Team Empire, but they should know that Vici Gaming are still around that area. Now, as Vici Gaming start backing themselves up, let's see if they actually catch anybody from Team Empire who maybe lingers a bit too long.
Yeah, Resolution just TP's mid, continuing to farm out the map, just wait things out as long as possible. But now the scary thing is that Hao is going to have an Orchid for the next fight, and that means that Empire almost always have to dodge fights now. You only wait for Vici Gaming to overextend, because you just don't have the personnel or the amount of farm necessary to get into fights, and FY with this Invis rune is going to be quite scary too, but luckily for Empire, nobody's